Welcome to the Deep Dive. I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. Great to be here.
Today, we're jumping into something that's got, well, pretty much the entire gaming world buzzing.
Oh yeah, Donkey Kong Bonanza for the Switch 2. The hype is real.
It really is. So this deep dive, we're basically going to unpack everything we know so far, the previews, the fan reactions, all of it.
Yep, our mission is to figure out what makes this game tick, what's got people so surprised, and, what it might mean for Nintendo going forward.
Exactly. And we've got some great sources lined up.
We do. We've been digging through Reddit threads, getting that raw community vibe, plus articles from places like Games Radar, plus IGN, Game Informer.
So good mix of official info and what players are actually saying.
Precisely. Should give you a really solid picture. Let's get into it.
Okay, so first big bombshell. The developer. It's confirmed the same team that made Super Mario Odyssey.
Right, and this wasn't just like a quiet reveal. Nintendo stated it, EPD Tokyo.
Which is unusual for them, right? They don't normally spotlight the internal teams quite like that.
Almost never. They usually let the game speak for itself, maybe mention it in an Iwata Asks back in the day. But putting the Odyssey team name front and center in the marketing, that tells you they see that connection, that Odyssey pedigree, as a massive selling point. It's like a quality stamp they're actively using, leveraging that specific team's reputation.
Interesting strategy. But of course, the fan reaction was immediate. Huge excitement, but also worries.
Oh, absolutely. You saw it right away. People thinking, okay, if the Odyssey team is on DK, does that mean no new 3D Mario for ages?
Right. Or maybe it's just like part of the team. The B team while the real Mario team does something else.
Yeah, that speculation popped up too. And, it touches on how these big studios actually work.
How so?
Well, these teams, like EPD Tokyo, they're not small monoliths. They often have multiple groups, sub-teams working on different things. People move between projects. Think about From Software. They put out Bloodborne, then Dark Souls 3 pretty close together. Or Elden Ring and Armored Core 6.
So it's possible they could be doing both. A DK and a Mario.
It's definitely possible. Maybe not the exact same people full-time on both simultaneously, but resources shift. Some might be prototyping Mario while others finish DK, or vice versa. It's not necessarily in either situation, even if that's the immediate fan fear.
That makes sense. Okay, let's shift from who is making it to what they're making. Open zone, open world. Sounds a bit like Odyssey or maybe Kirby in the Forgotten Land.
Yeah, those comparisons are definitely there. It's a 3D platformer, big connected areas. But the real hook, the thing everyone's talking about, is the destruction.
Ah, yes, the environmental destruction. Tell me more about that. How does it work?
It sounds pretty wild, actually. DK can, literally pulverize the environment, pull up huge chunks of ground, smash through floors, drill down.
Down so you can go underground.
Exactly. There's a whole subterranean world. He can bash downwards, drill, and they're even using motion controls for some of the smashing, which could feel really satisfying.
Motion controls. And how do you keep track if you're just wrecking everything?
Good question. They apparently have this dynamic 3D map that updates in real time as you destroy stuff, so you can see the changes you've made.
Okay, that's clever.
And there's a reset terrain button too, probably so you don't accidentally destroy your path to a collectible or get completely stuck.
Smart. So the main goal involves this underground world. You mentioned drilling.
Right. The story seems to be about retrieving stolen golden bananas, classic DK, from this new bad guy group called Voidco. And a lot of that quest involves exploring this underground world. They're promising groundbreaking exploration, literally.
Huh, nice. And what are you finding down there? Or, well, everywhere you're smashing collectibles.
Oh yeah, tons. There are vanadium gems. They look like bananas, naturally. You find them all over, use them for skill points to unlock new abilities for DK.
How do you get those gems? Just lying around.
Sometimes, but also through challenges. Things like timed battles, special side-scrolling levels tucked away, obstacle courses, standard Nintendo fare, but hopefully with a destructive twist.
Okay, what else?
There are Banandium chips. These seem to be more like a currency you trade for gold nuggets at a shop, maybe called the Stuff Shop.
Stuff shop. Catchy.
Right. And then there are fossils. If you dig these up, you unlock new outfits or styles for DK and Pauline.
Pauline. Okay, I was going to ask about her. She's in this.
She is, and not just a cameo. She's like a central character. Introduced as the Odd Walk sidekick, apparently a young singer.
An odd rock?
Yeah, maybe she starts out disguised or something. But she rides along with DK, helps him out with vocal blasts using mouse functionality. That detail was a bit unclear. Maybe it meant microphone input, or maybe just button presses represented as sound.
Huh, okay, so she attacks too.
Seems like it. But the big thing is her singing powers up DK. You collect gold, which builds up Bananergy for her.
Bananergy, of course.
Naturally. And when her meter's full, her singing triggers these Bonanza transformations for DK.
Transformations? Like...
They mentioned an ostrich Bonanza lets DK fly and drop eggs.
Fly. In a DK game.
Okay. And a zebra Bonanza, which gives him super speed and a dash attack. So these transformations seem like temporary power-ups that really change how you move and interact with the world, fueled by Pauline's singing.
That's actually a really cool dynamic, integrating the companion character directly into the core mechanics.
Yeah, it sounds much more involved than just, having Diddy on your back.
Speaking of Diddy, is he in it? What about the rest of the Kong family?
Yep. Confirmed characters include DK, Pauline, Diddy, Cranky, Dixie.
Dixie's awesome.
And Ramdy the Rhino is back too.
Yes, okay, good lineup. And the villains are Voidco. Any familiar faces there?
The new ones mentioned are Grumpy Kong and Poppy Kong, part of this Voidco group.
Grumpy Kong. Okay, but no King K. Rool.
Yes, the elephant, or rather the crocodile in the room.
That's been a huge point of discussion, hasn't it? The lack of K. Rool as the main villain.
Massive. For a lot of fans, especially those who grew up with the SNES and N64 games, K. Rool is Donkey Kong's villain. He's DK's Bowser,
Absolutely. So what are the arguments? People are just upset he's seemingly been replaced.
Pretty much. There's a strong feeling that it's just not a proper DK game without him leading the charge. But then you have the counter-arguments.
Like what?
Well, some eagle-eyed fans have spotted crocodile imagery, like on some of the regular enemies shown in previews.
Oh, so maybe the Kremlings are involved. Or K. Rool is a secret.
That's the hope for many. They're pointing to Nintendo's history of keeping big things under wraps. Like, nobody knew about Cappy really before Odyssey launched, or the scale of the depths in Tears of the Kingdom.
True, Nintendo loves a good surprise reveal.
Exactly. Plus, there's the historical context. K. Rool was the big bad during the Rare era, definitely. But the Retro Studios games, Returns and Tropical Freeze, they had different main villains, so it's not entirely unprecedented for K. Rool to sit one out.
That's a fair point. Does this K. Rool debate tie into anything else people are discussing?
Yeah, it definitely feeds into a wider conversation about the game's overall tone.
How so?
Some people are looking at the bright visuals, the Pauline integration, the Odyssey team, and they're feeling like it's maybe a bit too Mario-fied.
Like it's a Mario game wearing a DK skin.
Sort of, yeah. They feel it might be missing that slightly darker, moodier atmosphere that the Rare games had. DK64 had some genuinely creepy moments. It's drawn comparisons, sometimes unfavorably, to when Nintendo took over Star Fox and made Star Fox Adventures.
I remember that shift. So nostalgia for the Rare era's specific vibe.
Exactly. But then others argue, look, Donkey Kong as a character existed before Rare. He's been reinterpreted loads of times. And focusing on new gameplay, like digging and smashing, fits a gorilla character who likes collecting shiny things.
So maybe it's just evolution, trying something new after, 20 plus years since the last 3D DK game?
That's the argument. Is the essence of DK tied only to the Rare interpretation, or is the franchise flexible enough for this kind of shift? It's that classic tension, innovation versus tradition, especially when you're bringing back a series after such a long hiatus.
A really interesting debate.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk tech and release details. It's definitely a Switch 2 exclusive. Right?
Confirmed. Launching July 17th, 2025. That's just over a month after the Switch 2 itself launches on June 5th. And yeah, strictly new gen, no version for the original Switch.
Got it. Now, performance. There were some rumblings after the previews about frame rates.
Yeah, some outlets noted frame rate dips or inconsistencies. Now, it's crucial to remember preview builds are often not fully optimized. We saw similar concerns with early looks at Tears of the Kingdom or even FF7 Rebirth, and they often improve significantly by launch.
But for a platformer, frame rate is pretty key, isn't it?
It really is. You need that consistency for timing jumps and attacks. So while it might get better, it's a valid point of concern, especially given the game's ambition with all the destructible environments. That's computationally expensive.
Does that tie into the discussions about the Switch 2's overall power?
It inevitably does. You hear comparisons like, maybe it's around a PS4 Pro level when handheld. It's obviously not going to be a PS5 competitor in raw specs. The question becomes, what's the trade-off? Nintendo often prioritizes unique gameplay over bleeding-edge graphics, and fully destructible environments is a unique gameplay pitch. But can the hardware deliver it smoothly? We'll have to see.
Makes sense. What about other extras? Amiibo.
Oh yeah, new amiibo incoming. A Donkey Kong Bonanza figure and a Pauline figure, both launching alongside the game on July 17th.
And they do stuff in-game.
The Pauline one unlocks a special diva dress outfit early, and apparently something called explosive Kong tiles.
Explosive Kong tiles. Intriguing!
And they confirm that all previous amiibo will work too. Tapping other amiibo can generate giant spheres of terrain to smash, or special gold Kong tiles, so good support there.
Nice. Okay, stepping back a bit, strategy-wise. Why isn't this a launch title? It seems like a huge system seller. Launching just a month after the console seems interesting.
It is interesting, especially when you compare it to Mario Kart World, which is confirmed as a day one launch title for Switch 2.
Right, Mario Kart always moves consoles.
Always. It's arguably Nintendo's biggest system seller, period. So leading with that makes sense. Putting Bonanza just a bit later suggests Nintendo is thinking about the long game?
Spacing things out.
Exactly. Instead of dropping all their heavy hitters at launch, they seem to be planning a steady cadence of major releases to keep momentum going for the Switch 2 throughout its first year and beyond. Keep people engaged. We'll likely see Metroid Prime 4, Pokemon ZA, maybe even Animal Crossing teased for early 2026. It's about sustained engagement.
A marathon, not a sprint.
Pretty much. But yeah, the anticipation for Bonanza itself is just sky high. It's been so long since a proper 3D Donkey Kong adventure.
Totally. Okay, so wrapping things up, what are the main takeaways from this whole deep dive into Donkey Kong Bonanza?
Well, I think number one is the Odyssey team confirmation and what that signals about Nintendo highlighting specific internal talent. 2, the core gameplay innovation, that massive environmental destruction, sounds really ambitious and unique.
Definitely.
3, the character discussions, especially the K-Rool debate, really show how passionate fans are and how they view the series' history and tone. And 4, its role as a very early, very hyped Switch 2 exclusive, but not a launch title, tells us something about Nintendo's release strategy.
Yeah, a lot to chew on. So maybe the final thought for everyone listening.
Yeah.
What does all this really tell us about where Nintendo is taking its classic characters?
Right. Is Bonanza marking a totally new path for DK, maybe leaving some of the past behind to focus on gameplay innovation above all else? Or is it just, the next evolution for a character that's always been pretty adaptable?
And what does the way the community is reacting, all the debates and excitement reveal about that tightrope walk between giving fans something new and respecting the traditions of these series we all love?
Exactly. Something to think about while we all wait, perhaps impatiently, for July 17th, 2025.